Hello again, folks. Welcome to another edition of Fun with Phrasals. My name is Michael Ward. Well, as you can tell, I'm dressed a little differently than I've been in some of my past videos, and this is because today's phrasal verbs are all about the world of business. As in the past, I will be giving you 3 phrasal verbs to learn today, and the first of those is buy out. Buy out. Buy out means when one company purchases another company. Usually it's a larger company purchasing a smaller company. And the companies do this for a variety of reasons, but mainly because they'd like to either eliminate a competitor or because they'd like to expand into another market. It's quite common in the banking industry, actually, and my local bank a few years ago was a company called Sovereign Bank. Sovereign was based in Maryland and had offices in Pennsylvania and New Jersey and Delaware. Well, Sovereign was purchased by Santander, and many of you may know Santander as a really large global bank based in Spain. So now my bank is no longer Sovereign, it is Santander. And Santander did not build small banks. They just simply changed the names of the sovereign banks, thereby giving them a market here in eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland. Another way we can use the word buy out, and many of you I know are football fans, and I mean your football, not American football, but football or football. I don't know all the rest of the words that you may use. Soccer, as we Americans call it, but it's football to you. Many players have in their contract something called a buyout. A buyout is what the club thinks their value is. So, in other words, a player like Lionel Messi obviously is worth quite a lot of money to Barcelona, as is Cristiano Ronaldo to Real Madrid. Those guys occasionally can transfer to another team, as Ronaldo did from Manchester United. In order for that to happen, the club who loses the player's services must be paid. They set the amount that they must be paid. That is called a buyout. All right? And I've read that Lionel Messi's buyout from Barcelona, if any of the other teams want to buy him, is about 250 million euros. And I think Cristiano Ronaldo's may be a little bit higher than that. So remember, buyout is when one company purchases another and they buy them out. Also, we can use it for football. All right. The next phrasal verb I'm going to show you is lay off. Lay off. There we are. Lay off. Lay off is when a company reduces its workforce. And this is usually because the company is not making enough money, the company is not being competitive, or the company simply needs to restructure. So many times they look at the amount of workers that they have and say we need to reduce the amount of people that we have. Now the workers are not being fired. The workers haven't done anything wrong. The company is simply trying to save money by losing employees. Now I had a suggestion from someone who said I should give you more example sentences. So here are 2 example sentences. Number 1, General Motors, a large American car manufacturer, plans to lay off 2,000 workers by the end of this year. In other words, they will let them go and hope that they will find other jobs. Example number 2, sentence number 2 would be, have you heard about Janet? She's been laid off from that company that she worked for over 10 years. So again, lay off means to be released from your job, not for anything bad that you did, but simply because the company is trying to save money or restructure. All right? Now, the last and phrasal verb that I'm going to give you today is pencil in. Pencil in. Now, we all know what a pencil is, okay? And most of the time when we write, we don't use a pencil. We typically use a pen. But why do we use a pencil if we do use one? Because of this little thing right here, all right? This eraser. It allows us to correct mistakes. So, how do we use this verb pencil in? Well, let me show you something. This is an appointment calendar, as I hope you can see. And you see 2 times, 8 o'clock it says meeting, and 10 o'clock it says presentation. Now, if you were to call me and say, Mike, can I have a meeting with you at 9 o'clock? I might not be sure if that meeting was going to be finished yet, that 8 o'clock meeting was going to be finished yet, but I think it might be. So I might say to you, well, let me pencil you in, and if something happens, I can change. So in other words, let me put in a 9 o'clock meeting. 9 o'clock meet. Okay? So now I have penciled you in. So let's say that the 8 o'clock meeting runs long, and I know this. And I would call you up and say, I'm sorry, I can't meet with you. So I would simply erase that meeting. Pencil in means to make an appointment that you think or you believe might change at a later date. Doctors do it all the time. If you're trying to get an appointment with a doctor, perhaps it's a short appointment, they might say, you know, I can pencil you in between 10:30 and 10:45, but that is subject to change. So again, pencil in. So let's see if I can give you a couple of sentences here. Even though the doctor was very busy, he said he could pencil me in for an appointment. Okay, that would be number 1. Number 2 might be, I'm not sure I can go to the concert next week, but I'll pencil in the date, and if anything changes, I'll let you know. Okay? So let's review those phrasal verbs again, and here they are. Buy out. It means to purchase another company or to purchase the contract of someone like Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, if you have 250 million euros lying around. Layoff simply means to lose your job because the company that you work for is trying to save money or restructure. And number 3 is pencil in. And pencil in means to make an appointment that you might change at a later date because of a previous commitment or whatever. I want to thank you for all the great comments that I've been receiving on the phrasal verbs, and I encourage you to follow me on my YouTube channel. You can find me there under Michael Ward, and certainly add the word phrasal verbs because Michael Ward is quite a popular name and there are many of us out there. But again, follow me on YouTube, and again, I appreciate all the comments that you make on the Facebook pages, and I will try to do as much as I can with these. Thank you for your suggestions once again. And this is Mike Ward signing off saying, don't be afraid, keep using those phrasal verbs, and I'll see you next time.